Hi everyone, welcome back to Deep Dive Daily. Okay, today we are talking about something we all know so well, that maddening, irresistible, sometimes amazing, sometimes awful feeling of an itch.
The poet Ogden Nash totally nailed it, right? I mean, there is nothing quite like the pure, simple satisfaction of a really good scratch. It's one of those perfect little moments. But we all know there's a dark side to it, don't we?
And that's the big question, isn't it? It's the ultimate paradox. You've got an itch, you scratch it, it feels incredible for like a second, and then bam, it comes roaring back even angrier than before. So today, we're going to get to the bottom of what's actually going on.
Okay, so first things first, an itch, or pruritus if you want to get scientific, isn't a bug in your system. It's a feature, and it's an ancient one that's been keeping us humans safe for like forever. Think of it as your body's own hyperspecific alarm system.
And to get why we have this alarm, we have to look at what it's protecting. Get this, our skin is our biggest organ, covering about 20 square feet on average. It is literally the wall that guards our entire body, our first line of defense against, well, everything.
So, what was this alarm designed to do? Well, think way back. The itch-scratch reflex was basically our ancestors' best defense mechanism. It was a signal to get that bug off, pull out a thorn, or brush away some weird plant you might be allergic to. It's a super simple but brilliant command. Hey, something's on you. Get it off now.
All right, here's a fun one. Be honest, are you starting to feel a little itchy just listening to me talk about this? It's not in your head. Just like yawning, itching can actually be contagious. The theory is, if one of our ancient buddies started scratching like crazy, it was a social cue for the rest of us to be on alert for the same threat. Teamwork makes the dream work, you know? Okay, so we know why we itch, but what is an itch, really? Well, for the longest time, science had a really simple and really wrong answer. For decades, scientists just figured that an itch was basically pain light, just a weaker version of a pain signal. But the real story is so much cooler.
Turns out they're completely different things. An itch isn't just a whisper of pain. It is its own unique sensation with its own dedicated nerve pathways. It's like your body has a special freeway that runs from your skin straight to your brain just for itch signals, totally separate from the freeway for pain.
And all of this leads us to the most frustrating part of the whole deal, the vicious cycle. This is the absolute core of why scratching feels so good but makes everything a million times worse. It's a total biological trap.
Let's break it down. Step 1, you feel an itch. Your brain gets the signal. Step 2, you scratch. What you're actually doing is causing a little bit of pain. Now, for step 3, that pain signal basically shouts louder than the itch signal, which is why you get that moment of sweet relief. But here's the twist. For step 4, to deal with that little bit of pain, your brain releases serotonin, the feel-good chemical. And here's the kicker. At step 5, that serotonin accidentally makes the original itch nerves even more sensitive. So the itch comes back, stronger than ever, and the cycle starts all over again.
This old proverb just hits it on the head, doesn't it? The very thing you do to try and solve the problem is what keeps it going.
It's a perfect metaphor for so many things, but for our skin, it's literally biologically true.
Now this cycle can get seriously extreme. And a warning, this is pretty intense. There was this one medical case of a woman who had nerve damage from shingles, and it left her with this phantom, unstoppable itch on her head. It was so constant, so relentless, that she actually scratched right through her own skull, all the way to her brain. That is how unbelievably powerful this sensation can be.
So, after hearing that, you're probably wondering, okay, how do we make it stop? Well, people have been fighting this battle forever, and along the way, we've come up with some pretty clever and honestly kind of weird solutions. Let's do a quick trip through time. In ancient China, they were using menthol to get that cool, tingling feeling that distracts the nerves. Since way back in the 13th century, we've used camphor, which comes from evergreen trees. The ancient Greeks and Romans tried soaking in mineral baths, even slathering on animal fat. And today, our toolkit is a little more advanced. We've got antihistamines, steroid creams, and even creams made with capsaicin. Yep, the same stuff that makes chili peppers hot. So here's the big takeaway. The next time you feel that familiar tingle starting up, just remember what's really going on. It's not just some random annoyance on your skin. It is a deep, complex message. That little sensation is actually the final stop on a long journey. It's a signal that traveled on its own special highway to your brain,
carrying a warning that your ancient ancestors depended on to survive. It's a little piece of evolutionary history playing out right on your skin.
And that leaves us with a really exciting question for the future. Now that we know itch has its own unique wiring, could we find a way to just switch it off? A way to block the signal at the source without causing any pain or starting that vicious cycle? The science is just getting started, but it's pretty mind-blowing to think about.
And that is the unscratchable truth about why we itch. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this, share it around, and subscribe for more. Drop a comment below with your views. See you tomorrow at the same time.